Action. Alrighty, welcome back. 100 Proof Whitetails. We are going old school. We are going no mic and the old camera because somehow between the last show and this show, I can't find the main camera. So
Jesse and Connor just
it's been downhill since then.
broke
We
the
peaked.
internet.
We peaked with the walleye tour, and now we're dropping back down the backside.
And the mouse in the syrup.
Yeah, mouse in the syrup story.
Mouse in the syrup and the walleye champion
Mhm.
killed it.
Want to start off the show by giving our quick shout outs over here. Shout out to our sponsors, Busy Bee Chiropractic, for all your chiropractic needs. Go see Dr. Britt in Newark, New York. You can find them online at Dr. Britt, I think is what it is.
At Busy Bee Chiropractic.
Yeah, Busy Bee. If you search Busy Bee Chiropractic, you will find Dr. Britt.
What do you mean online?
We were just there this week.
Yeah, I was there Tuesday.
I hit a sauna with mine.
Oh,
Money.
see, you hit
Money.
up everything. I just go in and get the
No, I get
snap, crackle, pop.
I get the Snap Crackle Pop and the sauna now because it's a bundle deal. You get a bundle deal if you do the
There's still
sauna
a
the
bunch
same
of
day.
stuff going on now. There's deep tissue massages.
There's a nutritionist on site.
Nutritionist, which I should probably see.
Yeah.
I think I'm lacking nutrition.
So yeah, anything for your health and wellness needs, Busy Bee Chiropractic. Go see Dr. Britt, get you straightened out and on the right track. Also want to shout out M&R Firewood Services. They are located here on Main Street in Phelps. They are our second sponsor of the show. And them for all your firewood needs, camping, and I think he does face covered orders as well. For
Best
folks.
firewood in Ontario County.
Yep, and you can get it down around Smoking Pete's down Seneca Lake as well, just south
You
of
get
there.
yourself some barbecue and some firewood.
Yep.
It's really not a bad trip.
Can't beat it. And they got a really good bourbon selection down there, Smoking Pete's too. They're really good friends with them, so they let them set up a stand right down there too.
I seen some I think it was pulled pork over tater tots and something. It was.
That sounds yummy.
Yeah, I seen a picture of that one.
Sounds yummy. So, if you are interested, this could be you, where we're putting the 100 Proof logo. Ding! If you're interested in sponsoring, reach out to us, let us know. $75 gets you a full year of sponsorship. It'll get you put into the outro video and shouted out at the beginning of every episode. But now that we've done that, thank you again to our sponsors. We want to dive into this topic because it might polarize some people this week a little bit.
If everybody's heard about it. Before we get a little too crazy into all the fun news.
Yeah.
Now the weather's getting a little cooler. Deer season's on its way.
Mm-hmm.
A month away.
Yep.
We still have some hunting knives available.
Yep.
You can contact us, engraved with your favorite podcast on them, 100 Proof.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have some camouflage
Beanies.
hats. Beanies.
Yep. So
They actually have the roll-up brim, like some people like.
Yep. Yeah, that was a request, and then we can't sell them.
So if anybody's interested, hit us up, and we'll get that out to you.
Yep, so this helps us pay for the chicken barbecue and everything like that. I guess we'll kind of start the episode off with that because Bucky's holding down the fort here with our rough draft tickets. We wanted to make sure the format came out good. We have the ticket stock ordered, so if you have ordered tickets from Nate or me, we will have hard tickets here hopefully by this weekend. But we have the demo set, so that's what we got there. So $25 to include your dinner. We're not doing a cap this year, so I would still get them before. I mean, we're gonna have to put a deadline on it, but you know, but yeah. And then $5, and then are we doing $5 and the first drinks on us
$5. What do you mean?
for general admission?
Well, if you buy a dinner, isn't your general admission
Included. That's included in the dinner. Yeah.
But if you, I guess if you don't want the dinner, you just want to come for a couple drinks and some of the raffles, then it's $5 at the door.
Yep. And all that money goes right to local FFA,
4-H.
shooting sports, 4-H. We're going to spread it around Wayne County and Ontario County a little bit and keep it right here in the local area for the kids. That's kind of our goal with it. So we're going to kind of divvy up the monies a little bit and stuff like that. And who knows what we might buy a couple boxes of sporting clays for the shooting sports team. You know, who knows what we'll do with it. But that's what all the money, all the proceeds go with it. So after the chicken's covered, And then everything else, me and Nate are buying out of pocket, like all the raffle prizes and stuff like that. That's all out of pocket stuff for us. So after chicken's paid for and food, everything else that day goes to youth events and um, the local fire department for the drink side of stuff. So it's not an open bar; it's a cash bar, but they'll be able to help you out and serve you for all your beverage needs that day. So, which is cool. And again, we're doing it
September
at Phelps.
20th, Phelps
Yep.
Fire Hall.
Yep.
It'll be a fun event. Bring your bow.
Yep.
There will be a novelty shoot, maybe a small archery.
Couple targets.
Couple targets you can just plank around at.
Yep. Yeah.
So it'll be a fun event.
Yeah, we're kind of looking at growing it a little bit. That was some of the feedback we got from last year. Was folks wanted to hang out a little bit and shoot and hang out, and that's what we got from some people stayed there and cavemaned it out of the containers and hung out with us a little bit. But yeah, so we're looking forward to it, and we'll see if we can keep growing it, dude, because we enjoy doing it and enjoy having the people. So, and then if you're interested, the next day is the clam bake for the NWTF chapter. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I can get you all the details for that. So that'll be over Seneca Falls way.
So, very nice.
Yep, busy weekend that weekend. So, all right. So the moment everyone's been waiting for. If you've been living under a rock for the last 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but
I'm
sure you do know about it.
Yep. Especially if you've been tuning into the podcast stuff because we've been posting about it.
Let's put it this way. There's a lot of compound bows getting traded into your local archery shop for a specific other style archery equipment.
Yeah. Bass Pro's sold out. Heritage is sold out, I heard. I mean, they're all out of crossbows.
So if you're in the market for a used compound, might be the time to pick one up.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one.
Because it's going to be, I bet similar to Ohio, where all the locals all just carry crossbows.
Yeah, it could very well be. But nope. So Hochul finally signed the crossbow law into effect. I'm sure we're going to probably get some comments on this. Let us know in the comments what you think of the new crossbow stuff. We'll kind of give you the down and dirty on it quick. So a couple things is previously you needed your muzzleloader stamp to use the crossbow that last 2 weeks and then of archery, and then you could use it during the late season, the primitive season. So now to use it throughout the entire archery season, you have to have your archery course and your bow stamp. It is now an archery implement, not viewed as a muzzleloader implement like it was previously. So that's part of the new laws with it. The weight restriction is gone.
Pretty much all the restrictions.
Yeah, all the restrictions are gone
on the crossbow. So whatever crossbow you want, you can pretty much hunt with.
Yep. The only thing I didn't ask, but I'm assuming it's a viable weapon, is during the antlerless seasons if you're in one of those zones, like a couple of the zones we hunt are, for the antlerless season here in September, which is, actually I think that's the same weekend as our chicken barbecue now that I'm thinking about it. Might be. I don't know. So if you did get your regulation book, the new change is not in there because it was signed in after those were all printed. But yeah, so that goes into effect for the full archery season this year. So yeah, that's the new breaking news. So, and I'm sure we'll get some, I mean, if you followed any of the hunting pages and groups online, I mean, they have just been guys attacking each other. My take on it is that we just need to support each other as hunters and not be all bent out of shape about it, dude, because it's not going to do anybody any favors to just divide us all up on stuff. There's enough division and stuff going on with other stuff in the world right now. You don't need to make crossbows another reason why, in my opinion. So, but what were you saying before we started rolling, Nate? The hot take. That we were just joking around with the hot take. What was it? After October, what is it? October 13th, because that covers youth weekend too, right?
Youth, yeah. Yeah,
that covers up to end of youth weekend. I think the 13th is that Monday. What What'd you say?
I said after youth weekend and
First 2 weeks.
first 2 weeks of everyone hunting with crossbows, everyone's target buck is going to be dead. Or wounded and dead somewhere and no one found it. So just be prepared for that.
Yep. All right. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Have a good.
No, so
So you better get them early. You don't get them October 1st, you're about screwed.
yeah, I think
No, not really.
no, we're
Just
we're just messing around with that. But I think it is going to put definitely some more pressure in the woods this upcoming archery season that we typically don't see until that November time when it rolls in.
So let's break it down like this.
Yep.
So October 1st, crossbows are there.
Everything's
talk-
there. Yep.
Let's talk about pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about pros first. What are some positives you see coming from this? You're going to say none. But what kind of positives do you see coming from crossbows being
legal
October 1st throughout the entire archery?
First thing I can think of, and I will give one positive, it gives some of the people that have, limitations with being able to draw a compound bow. It gives them opportunity to get out in the field. People that enjoyed archery season but can't physically do that anymore, it gives them the opportunity to use that weapon. I think that's a big thing. People that come to mind maybe is like your grandfather or my dad. He's got some shoulder stuff, so gives them the opportunity to get out there before the tail end of archery season and stuff like that. I don't think. Okay, we'll save the negatives. So, what's a positive you see on October 1 out there?
I think,
and I have another one too.
I think it's going to get more people involved in the archery season. I also think that kind of like touching on what you said, but I mean, it'll give more opportunities. I mean, you kind of like with anything, if you don't, I guess, grow and adapt to the world around you, that you're eventually just gonna
get left behind a little bit.
Left behind. And I mean, you look at the generations coming up. You can look at your grandfather's generation versus either your kid's generation or even your generation, depending on your age, and what is a course of action that is going to keep these people / kids involved. This, I think, is a good move for that.
Yep.
I know there is a lot of kids that are involved in archery and stuff like that, but I think with the modern times and the way things are nowadays and the way they're trending, that in the long run it's going to keep revenue and people and more people involved into what we like to do.
Gotcha. So
that's kind of like the theory of hunting numbers being down and it kind of bringing them back up a bit.
Yep.
I
see the theory.
You see where I'm going with that?
Yep. Jeff Fox comments in, says that person is me with my shoulder. Yep. So that's kind of what we're talking about. The other thing that came to mind,
and honestly, these diehard hunters. I mean, I think I'm not calling anyone else specific, but I think if people went out with them anyways.
Yeah.
These guys girls can't pull a compound bow back anymore. I think they just went out with a crossbow anyways.
Sure. Or they wanted, the latest and greatest
so
kind of tool.
It's making it legal. You ain't gotta hide it.
Yeah. I guess that's So it's just like weed. We're legal. So my also take on it is, if you are introducing like sometimes folks are introducing like their wife, girlfriend, spouse, family member. It gets them a chance to get them out in archery season before it gets all cold and crappy.
It's
to get them a chance to get out there with that implement. I think that's a decent part of it too. is the benefits on that side of stuff. First time hunters, some women can't pull a lot of archery weight. I know a couple friends of mine, their daughters can't pull, like 35, 40 pounds to be able to do it because they weigh about 80 pounds soaking wet.
Damn, they're
You know,
12 years old,
Yeah.
14 years old.
So, I definitely see
Able to hunt.
the benefits of getting more individuals in the outdoors on that side of it. Will it be used and abused? And people said it's going to increase poaching. I think that's a stretch, dude.
So we're
If
getting,
if people are poaching, they're already using a crossbow to poach or
we're-
whatever. So
we're not
that's-
into the
we're not even the
We're
negatives.
not into the cons yet.
Yeah. So other positives,
I do like that take. I do like the youth because
the new
a
hunters.
lot of younger kids can't pull a lot of weight.
Yep. To effectively make good shots with it.
And those crossbows sitting on, well, I've never shot with it. I've never even used one. But from what I hear, those bog pods or whatever,
Oh, you put it on a bog
dead
pod?
shots. You put a crossbow on a dead shot.
Yeah. No.
Game
Well,
over.
I mean, I've shot them
Shot
off
placement
of.
should be good unless they're shaking like crazy.
Yeah, and we talk about shooting off of a trigger stick and stuff like that too.
Same idea.
It's the
not
same idea.
It's not an actual vice. It's just
No,
a
but
rest.
I've shot that one doe I shot with the crossbow, and everybody will give me hate. Bo, I'm sure Bo's tuning in right now, and he's rolling around in his living room chair as I'm
He
saying
went in
this.
a hole.
Yeah,
He moved out of state.
he commented on my post today, my crossbow.
So
post
he is
finally.
alive.
He is not.
He is alive.
The first comment, I think the first part of the comment was, "I am not anti crossbow." So I don't know. Maybe Bo messed up his shoulder.
I'm the anti-crossbow.
Yeah, I think that was like the first part of his comment. I'd have to read it, but so I guess where I was going with that is I shot it off
So
that
that's
trigger
like-
stick, and that trigger stick was phenomenal.
I like my trigger stick.
Yeah, I you can call me a
Jesse.
cheater. A lot of people say
Jesse
I've heard that
used
from
to
numerous
trigger
people that said that I'm a cheater for using one and not hunting shooting freehand. Like that's a cheating move.
Oh.
I think it's a more ethical, cleaner shot. Personally, gives you an extra point of contact, dude.
Right.
Believe me, I've done that. I've stood up in the tree stand and reached out over to lean off the tree in the clump that I was in and shot them that way too.
Why wouldn't you want to stay abreast?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to be
The person
confident in
shooting
that?
freehand, sitting there looking for a tree to lean against or a limb to put it on. It's the same freaking thing.
Yeah. So, so other positives with the crossbow. You got another one. We talked about youth hunters, new hunters, aging out population or physical limitation hunters. Got any other positives for the change?
I think I mean, if used properly, the thing is a very efficient killing machine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a deadly weapon.
Especially if you're talking in.
And I've said this before. Wars were won back in the day because the crossbow was invented.
Changed the tide of the war, dude, in Europe.
It did.
The
It
countries that had crossbows.
It did. The
Yeah.
country, I think France came out with them.
Yep, armor, and it was like armor piercing back then, dude, because
Yeah.
that pushed the extra poundage and weight,
I mean, they're built to kill. I mean, they are some serious
Mhm.
weapons. So, but used and
archery efficient range.
archery efficient range, and people putting the time in to, shooting them, not just pulling them out of the box. And it says that they're laser sighted or some crap, and they're just going out in the woods and winging arrows at 80 yards.
Yeah. Nope. And knowing your shot angles too, it's still not a gun. You still need to wait for that broadside, quartering away shot.
Aim for exit.
Yeah, aim for exit. I would recommend highly. I've been on blood trails behind crossbows. I would recommend highly using a lighted knock. And even then, dude, it's tough to see it go through them.
Yeah, they shoot so fast.
Yeah, even with a compound, sometimes it's hard. If it's not like an evening shot, like a mid-morning shot, sometimes it's hard to track them. But I would definitely recommend a lighted knock on your crossbow bolt. The other positive that I don't know if it'll affect necessarily the area that I hunt, but I think it could benefit folks from the pressure standpoint of pushing deer off earlier than normal. So you might see more deer come onto your property if it's an unpressured property or a piece that's getting a lot of pressure next door. That's another positive I see from it. It could push more deer onto a property that you hunt if you are using, like we talk about, good entry and exits and your good kind of layout and design of your property the way you hunt it. That's another positive I kind of see coming from it.
I mean,
not necessarily.
It could turn into like opening day a gun,
Yeah, it could be
Shit running everywhere.
October 1. It could be there's deer everywhere. No, that's definitely a possibility with it. I mean, time will tell.
In the woods. That means a lot more scent in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that are overconfident with what a crossbow is capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna. I think it's definitely going to shake up how the woods normally evolves in October.
In the fall, yeah.
In October, I think things are gonna. I think it's going to have a pretty big impact on gun season. I think those deer. It's going to stress the deer out more. All right, so now we're getting into cons.
Okay, cons.
Now we're getting into cons.
Jump right into the cons. If you guys can think of a positive, let us know in the comments.
And we'll go back to it.
We'll jump back into it a little bit. But cons.
Cons. I think it's going to put a lot of stress on the deer. I think it's going to put a lot more pressure on them. I think it's going to hurt gun season.
I think it's going to draw the season out even more with pressure. So kind of piggybacking off of what
I think you're going
to
have a lot more nighttime movement than what you would normally have during your normal bow season.
Mm-hmm.
With the amount of extra pressure.
Yep. I can see that.
Deer are going to have, and the extra people that are going to be out there. I think there's going to be a bumpy road with. I think deadhead numbers are going to be up.
And you're thinking because the folks shooting them now might not be in that archery mindset of that broadside, quartering away, archery effective range.
It's going to bring a lot of fledglings into the archery.
I like what you did there with the fledgling thing.
So I think it's going to bring a lot of new people into archery, which aren't maybe exactly experienced with it.
Sure.
And a lot of us bow hunters take a lot of pride in, I guess, our efficiency and how we hunt and our strategic ways of doing things. So I think that,
which again,
I think it's going to bring. I think
that only comes with time. The time in a tree and animals, tagged.
And a lot of these people there, I feel like, are going to be out there with these crossbows. Hopefully, they have a decent mentor with them. Mm-hmm. I think they're just going to be treating it similar to like a gun season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I talked about it in the video. The other
I think that's going to go on for a couple years until.
The other major con that I had with it was the timing. I think if they were going to roll this out, they should have pushed it through. And I know nothing happens quick with government, but they should have definitely pushed this out before the reg books came out. Like, we're dropping this just in over a month from when season starts.
It's not even in the regulation books.
Yeah, it's not in the regulation books. There's no like this should have been buttoned up and done, or there should have been parameters put in with a start date for 2026 or something along that line. Rolling it out now, like when I posted that video, I was getting guys that are commenting like, "No, she hasn't signed it yet. She hasn't signed it yet." It's like, well, that's why I'm saying this, because she just signed it today. Like, this is the breaking news. I don't know. I put like flashing emojis on the video and stuff, and people, I guess, still didn't get that it was just brand new. Jesse Festa comments in, says, good for older people or someone who can't pull back the bow. We'll have to drink Bud Light now. They will have to drink Bud Light now. That's the pro is older people and someone who can't pull the bow back and hunt. The con is, Jesse says, they now have to drink Bud Light.
I like it.
Yeah. It's Miller Lite, and actually I was going to have some of that grandma's juice, I think, or something like that, whatever it is. GG juice.
GG juice.
Straight bourbon whiskey from Iron Smoke, Nancy Fuller edition. So it was a Christmas gift this past year, and I haven't opened it yet. So, oh, Jesse says pro they can use their either sex bathroom now. Oh, jeez. I think you meant to say either sex tag, Jesse.
So Jesse never even knew that you got a antlerless tag with your bow muzzleloader license.
What's that?
You get a either sex tag and an antlerless tag.
If you buy your so for all of you folks that might be buying a bow license for the first time, you also need your bow course. So if you don't have that, you're not gonna be able to buy your bow license to be able to hunt with the crossbow. So you can get that online, or which is $30, or you can take an in-person one if there's one close to you before season. So yes, if you guys are now on the primitive weapon, stage or whatever, if you buy your bow stamp and your muzzleloader stamp, you get an antlerless tag. That's not your either sex tag, an extra antlerless tag that you can use during a early archery season or the late primitive season.
Mm-hmm.
Only. You can't use it during regular gun season, but you can use it any of either the early bow or the late primitive.
And I think you get your either sex tag if you have a lifetime license and you get your license in the mail. Your either sex tag comes in the mail.
That should come with If
and
you
when you go get your doe permits, because your doe permits you have to go get.
You still have to get those in person, or you can do them on the app.
And you'll get your antlerless tag with your doe permits because it's a doe tag.
Yeah, unless you have both lifetimes. I have both lifetimes. I think I got my antlerless already. I'll check. I have my license.
Well, Jesse was a little confused the other day because he was telling me about it, and he said, he's like, "What's up with this antlerless tag that I got with my?" He goes, "I got an extra doe permit." Because I guess he hasn't gotten his lifetime in the mail yet.
No.
Right, which is odd because I got mine like a month ago. I've always gotten either sex tag and an antlerless tag for bow muzzleloader.
Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it now. Another con, Nate. Rip another con.
Rip another con. A con with it. I don't know. I mean, this is America, right? You should be able to hunt with whatever you want. Hunt them all year round. I don't know. Like, another con. I think the biggest one is just getting a lot of inexperienced people bow hunting in archery season. That's kind of my biggest take on it. I don't know, Jesse, what do you got? You got anything more?
I don't know. Now I got to find my license that I had like a month ago. My office is so full of paperwork right now.
You don't even have your license.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's not October 1st. I'm not worried about it. I don't need it to go buy my crossbow. Which I don't have
I think it'll eventually.
I can't remember. Do I even have a crossbow anymore?
Mm-hmm.
We hooked Dave up with one. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. Jesse's hot take is you can use a crossbow. You should be able to hunt with a spear. So we talked about this. I don't know how many episodes ago. If you're hunting as a guest on some what's it called? Not refuge, reservation. If you're hunting with Native Americans on some of the reservation lands, they don't have laws that they need to abide by, unless it's like a tribal law on those pieces. So, I had a guy I know that said, "Hey, you should come hunt with me with a spear. We can spear them." So that's kind of a cool thing.
What's the emoji? What is the emoji he messed up on?
It's a guy thinking. I don't know.
That's not.
I can't tell what it is.
Jesse, don't.
Jesse's trying to emoji over here.
He's thinking about spears. I don't know why you can't spear a deer anyway. Yeah. You know how close you got to get to a deer to spear it?
I can't.
Why is that not legal?
I can't remember. I can't remember what state you can spear in. I want to say it's a southern state. But
Jesse's idol is Tim Wells, and he spears a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Going
Spear, according to AI, so don't take this at face value. There's only 2 states that spear is allowed during the archery seasons, and that is Arkansas and Arkansas. Oklahoma, you can, but you cannot use it for deer. It's not included in the use for killing deer.
And
So
that
probably small game.
And that was the question.
Yep.
So Arkansas, Jesse, you got to go.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
You got it. Yeah. Typically, it's in an archery season. So there you go. But that's AI, so fact check obviously, and check with your laws and regulations. I don't believe that was signed in with the crossbow. So
I say just start doing it. People were killing them with crossbows when they weren't supposed to.
there you go, Jesse.
Just start killing them with spears when you're not supposed to, and then eventually they'll legalize it.
Yep. So that would be, what's that, Jesse? Jesse probably knows this. Is it Monday, Jesse? Squirrel season? That's Jesse's comment. Who's ready for squirrel season? Woohoo! Yeah, buddy.
He said he might make his famous squirrel platter and bring to the chicken barbecue for an appetizer.
I could dig on that. Dude, I've always been a...
It's like General, if you are familiar with Chinese food, it's like General Tso squirrel.
Yeah, I make squirrel noodle soup. Is one of my go-tos with it. I love squirrel noodle soup. The one thing that I always like to do with squirrel season, this is a good little caveat, is I like to hunt squirrels after like that first frost. So like probably end of September, early October, back when I was younger. It wasn't hunting deer yet because it wasn't an option for us because couldn't hunt deer till you were 16 plus at that point. Back
Scaring
then.
all your dad's deer away.
I was scaring all the neighbors' deer, yeah. I was out squirrel hunting, but I didn't like doing it because it cuts down on the amount of bot fly that you can get in the squirrels. If you've ever seen a squirrel with a bot fly, it's not pretty.
Bot flies are not pretty.
Bot flies are not pretty. So, but yeah, Jesse says yes. Bring it, Jesse.
So,
bring a little appetizer.
So let's get back on track here to the cons.
The cons of crossbows.
So we covered inexperienced hunting, maybe overconfident hunting,
Mm-hmm.
Extra pressure.
Mm-hmm.
What was your con?
The other con was, basically treating it like a rifle. So I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with yours. And then the rolling it out late. That was the other con that I had.
I think it's gonna
was
wear
the timing.
I think with the extra people in the woods, it's gonna wear the deer out early.
I think it definitely is.
I think it's gonna slow the movement down of whitetails super early.
Yeah, and we've seen this in other states where they've tried to like overload everything with opportunity, thinking that will mean more harvest or more opportunity for folks, so people use it more. And what happens, I think, more to the point when it gets a longer season, is people don't have to go take that week off or that weekend for that season. They say, well, I'll go next weekend, or I'll go in 2 weekends or whatever, and then they never do. So I think that's also like, we talk about like the people that listen to this, the people we have on the podcast, us, we're more of, some people say like die hard or whatever. We're going to go hunt, like, no matter what. But like for the guy that goes out once or twice a year, guy or gal, I don't know if an extra opportunity is going to be the difference in them going out more. I'd be really curious for that. Because I think a lot of it just gets like, wow, the kids are in sports or this and that, and I can't go out, so.
Life.
Yeah, life. You got to make space for it. Just like planting food plots and stuff like that, which we'll dive into kind of with the next topics and stuff. You just got to make time for it and make time for the hunting and, balance it with what else you got going on in life. So, Jeff Fox had a comment roll in, Nate. You can take that one.
Big game licenses available for purchase. Yeah, I believe they started, August 1st?
Mm-hmm.
August 1st, every year you can go purchase your big game license.
Yep.
So, yes.
And doe tags.
And doe tags. So, you should be able to go to your local Walmart or wherever you get your. That's where I go.
Town office.
Town office, wherever you get your license from, you should be able to get your big game license.
And there are a few, like Runnings does them. A couple other sporting.
Runnings is actually pretty quick with it.
Yeah. Well, it's
They're all a little different. It's pouring out.
pouring.
Yeah.
So
I have not. Well, all right, we're not getting into that yet. But Cold Grove, no excuses here. If I have to work and Caleb wants to go hunting, I will make sure we have someone to watch the girls so Caleb can go out. Yeah.
she's a good one.
Caleb does get out. Caleb had
He knocked down what 3 last year?
Yeah, he cracked the seal on his biggest buck.
Yep.
He got his what do you call it? PB, personal best.
Yep.
He
Sure.
got his
We'll call it a
PB last year in archery season. I think it actually is his. Well, it's not his first buck ever, but it was his first buck with a bow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was first buck with the bow, biggest buck overall.
Biggest buck. Then of course we lose that property this year. So switching landowners or whatever. I don't know who bought it. I still gotta figure that out and possibly talk to them. But they went through and pretty much wiped out everything.
Yeah, you said they cleared out all the hedgerows, and then you went and
it's
talked, and you're
all-
just like, "Whoa, what the heck happened?" They're like, "Oh
It's-
yeah, we sold it."
It's all one field.
Yeah.
You know
Which
how
is
it
a
was all
shame.
broken up nice and it was set up like
Yeah, you
amazing.
could
And all those
ruse
all those
the
fields were
hedgerows and,
boxed
yep.
in.
I wonder what that back bottom field looks like.
It's all one field now.
Yeah, that's a shame, dude. Because that was.
But
Yeah.
Caleb, he broke the seal. I think he's gonna have he's got a new piece he was telling me about. So
Ooh,
hopefully
okay. Yeah, nice.
him and his father-in-law are gonna go mess around on that. So
Mm-hmm.
he'll get out.
Yeah. So, also speaking of new pieces, I don't have one. But if you do have one and you're trying to find the line of, we always talk about this on how to gain access or permission. There's going to be more folks out there doing it. So one thing you can do, little tip and trick to set yourself apart is, I like gifts, like little gifts and stuff like that. Little sweet things like a little jar of syrup. This one's from Everson's Sugar Bush, for example. Got a nice little Whitetail property sticker on it too for branding. But something like that. Thank you card at Christmas. I've done cookie trays in the past.
Bottle of whiskey.
I've dropped off a load of firewood for them. Cleaned up field edges. Any of that stuff that could set you apart from somebody that's just knocking on that door saying, "Hey, does anybody hunt here?" Another kind of, thing with that is, if you are to the point, where there's competition, it might be that you got to pay a little bit and, pay what it's worth. Don't sell yourself short and get yourself screwed out of that piece either. Just take care of the people, be thankful, be respectful, don't leave it a mess. Don't drag a ton of people out there. Definitely make sure anybody you bring out there knows that they can only go out with you. If you okayed it with the owner,
Best thing to do
et
is
cetera, et cetera.
don't bring anybody.
Yeah, just
Keep it a secret.
keep it to yourself.
Just keep it to yourself. Don't say anybody.
What else was I gonna say for a tip?
I always trade labor.
Trade labor is always good. Help pack farm bunk.
It worked for a while.
Yep. One other thing I'm trying to think of where my brain was going with it. It'll come to me. Oh, offer to you can get them for, I think they're like $200 or so. You can go on NDA, so the National Deer Association, which is deerassociation.com, and you can get a hunting liability policy. So it gives the owner a little peace of mind when you're out on the property. So, just another little something that, a lot of people don't think of to give you kind of a little tip to, maybe get you that piece that, there's a lot of competition on. Because there's going to be more competition for pieces now. With more potential access or people locking it down or even feeling like they have to lock it down even if, they're not going out there as much. Jesse says cons can't get another shot off if you miss a shot. Can't track your arrow to see shot placement. Yeah. I mean,
Sounds like Jesse's got some experience with a crossbow.
No, I mean they're. So when I shot my doe with the crossbow, the does didn't know what was going on. I was trying to cock it and shoot another one. It was late season archery, and I was trying to shoot one with it, and I couldn't. You know, like Jesse said, you can't get another shot off. There's just too much movement involved with trying to cock one, let alone if you got hand crank and then you're trying to. No,
Noisy. Ain't gonna work.
no. So definitely that's another con, Jesse. You can't get a second shot off, or I mean, we've done that before. Missed him on the first shot, or hit him, maybe hit him a little back, and we're able to get another arrow on him. I've done that before. Spined him and had hit him high and dropped him. Had to do a second follow
Had
up.
to go Crocodile Dundee him.
Yeah, I've never had to Crocodile Dundee, but I've had to make a follow up shot on him before.
Jesse's the best
let me,
Crocodile Dundee I've ever seen.
Let me check the other Facebook that doesn't
amazing.
link in real time. Don't see any comments over there. Nope, we're good.
Scarred me for life.
What's that?
Jesse Crocodile Dundee and a deer.
I've been there for other guys doing it.
It's amazing. Wow, yeah, you got Brandon.
Yep. Once upon a time.
Ooh, that guy.
Yep. Hey, we got him.
What was left of him?
Yeah. Yeah, we got him.
Man,
Found him.
that boy Bernard.
I'm the croc hunter.
He is. That was wild.
Yeah.
How I pictured it going down, it was nothing like it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get into details though.
No. So Jesse will have to come on and tell the story if he wants to tell the story.
He is the best storyteller we have.
Yeah. Jesse's good. Brandon tells some decent stories too.
Has Brandon ever been on?
Yeah. Not with you. I've had him on for a couple of shows. What?
I have to show you some.
You ain't never seen nothing like this, Ben. Gonna have to show you sometime.
You ain't. I'm
All right.
telling you. That ain't normal way of thinking.
Yeah. No.
He's always up for surprising you.
Yeah. So anyway, last minute, thoughts and topics on crossbows.
So we'll give it like another minute, and then we're moving on.
Yep.
We're going on to food plots and
Plots and strategy going into this season.
Cons
Or pros.
or pros if you're tuning in late.
Yep. And then I guess we'll give you kind of our final thoughts on it as a whole rule, overbroad rule. So, what do you think, Nate? What's your? And I know we're gonna get a little personal here. What's your personal take on the crossbows being used for all of archery season?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Don't like it.
So
I like doing crossbows with muzzle loaders at the end of the year.
So you didn't even like it when it was at the late bow season part.
They always want more. You gave them the best part of archery season. They already intruded there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, it's the early thing. So that's my personal feeling, how I feel deep down about it.
Yeah.
But I can see positives and all that in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever. But me personally, that's my take.
So if it was up to you to write the law, you'd say no.
Yeah, I would have never even let it into archery season.
Yeah.
I'd have left it with muzzleloader.
Yeah. My take on it is I don't agree with it because of the political rift it's going to put in between everybody, and the reason behind it, dude. That's the problem. That's my big thing with it. Do I think it has a place and purpose for certain people in the hunting community or whatnot? I absolutely do.
Well, if you want to get specifics before I get berated.
You'll get it from both sides. You'll get people that are 100% for what you're saying and 100% that are against.
Like what we're talking about. If someone has an issue where they can't use a vertical bow, then yes, let them bow hunt.
Yep.
They can go down with their doctor's note and get their pass.
Sure.
Other than that, I don't really like it.
Yep. I think it's going to add a ton of pressure. I think it's going to really draw out the season, like you said. You kind of took my take on that.
Especially Yeah, you think, the way I see it, you think deer after opening day shut
And
down.
it drops off.
I think it's gonna be a completely different game.
Yeah. So my last, I guess, takeaway with it is I don't think the state as a whole has a clue for the harvest numbers, and if their goal is to just get more opportunities for more deer to get killed, I don't think that's solving it, because I don't think they have a very good grasp on what's happening out there on a harvest standpoint as a whole. So to even say like this is going to increase harvest, like you don't have an effective baseline, because our reporting system is flawed in my opinion. Like it's basically a volunteer system. Yeah, it's mandated, but there's no enforcement and there's no accountability held with it. So we always say, report your harvest. Stuff happens, people forget, it happens. I probably forgot a deer or so over my tenure. It's possible. Um, but call them in, keep that data flowing to the state organization so they can make better management decisions. So we don't get to this point and they're grasping at straws, trying to increase hunter access to increase deer harvest if that's the goal with it. So that's my take on it. I would say, do I agree with it? No, because of the way it was done and how it was done. So I think they have a place and a purpose, but just not the way it was done. And that's my take on it. The very political answer of, no stance.
Jesse says pro. You can put a thermal scope on it.
I don't know about that one. That'd be a question for DEC if you can use a thermal scope, because you can't use anything with a laser projection on your thing. I don't think you can use a thermal, because I don't think you can use a thermal for regular deer.
Well, yeah,
for regular firearm.
Like legally, I don't think he's talking legally.
Oh,
I think he's just saying.
Yeah.
You can put one on it.
I mean, you could in theory put a thermal sensor on your bow too. Jesse's just such a heat seeker with his arrows that like he doesn't need a thermal. I mean, I've seen him shoot, dude. Dude doesn't use a release, doesn't use a sight. And I'll tell you, he'll give you a run for your money, dude, any day of the week.
Him and his dad.
Yep.
Same way.
Yep. I've never seen Dan shoot, but bring your bow, Jesse and Dan, to the cookout. Let's shoot a little bit.
Jesse says I'm all legal, baby. Tom Swart. I see it as a chance for people to get access to more season, but I think it should be for someone who physically can't draw a bow. See?
That's fair.
That's basically what I said.
That's fair. Yeah.
Same idea. I agree.
So, all right, 50 minutes in, we are off the crossbow topic, and we're going to go caveat into the next one, but we're going to give a quick shout out. Busy Bee Chiropractic and Wellness over in Newark, New York for all your chiropractic and wellness needs. Go check them out on Facebook. Go see Dr. Britt today. Get a little snap, crackle, pop in a sauna and get feeling better for bow season. So you can keep your shoulder doing good so you can shoot your bow during bow season.
Yeah.
And then M&R Firewood right here in Phelps and down Seneca Lake just south of Smoking Pete's for all your firewood needs, campfires, and I believe they do face cords as well on an order basis. Check them out at M&R Firewood Services. And they'll be in the beginning of every episode, during every episode, and then in the credit section. So thank you to our sponsors for helping us keep the show going, which we probably should get another sponsor because we're going to need a new mic at some point. Maybe, we'll see.
If I buy a new mic, do I get EMW on there?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Right.
Yep. Dude, I mean, all along you
might as well put Old Tin Cup up there.
Yeah, all along you and me have been, hey man, here's $40 or whatever toward this next month for the streaming or the podcast platform posting and stuff like that, or the software.
We added it up for us to do this every year. It's about $600.
Yeah.
Just for software, streaming, and podcast posting,
and the video clipper,
camera,
and the video clipper. Not even counting that.
The video clipper. Oh my god.
So So thank you guys that support us, and then helping with like buying hats and stuff like that. When we make like our $3 when we buy or sell a hat, the $3 just like goes back towards like, hey man,
recouping our
Yeah.
strain.
Yeah, you got it. So now we're 50 minutes into this, getting toward the end of it. So now we're going to talk that kind of strategy, maybe as a result of crossbow, but early archery season tactics and tips. We'll kind of kick it off with food plots because it's still raining out there really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear it.
Yeah, still not too late to get your brassicas in and your.
Yep, windows closing. We still got a little bit of brassica. We'll probably switch it up. If you did already get your brassica planted in the last couple weeks,
100 Proof OG Mix has got a pretty good review so far.
Yep. Nope, that's been rolling right along solid.
He planted it just right time though.
Yeah, we hit with the rains perfect. If you got it in like in the last 2 weeks or so, you hit these rains perfect. We've been getting kind of through the Finger Lakes and stuff is popping really, really well. So what I want to say for this, for the 100 Proof OG Mix, and then kind of where we'll be in another 10 days or so, is reach out if you have bare spots in your food plot. If you had stuff that got toasted out with, you planted too early and you got into that drought time and it didn't take, or you got really spotty take, deer browsing it down to the ground, and you want to get some food back in there, reach out and tell me your situation, and we'll mix up a custom blend for you for like a little plot topper. We'll switch up some of the ratio of some of the species so we can have some better success for you going into that archery season. You're not going to get a ton of bulb production, but we would do more of a leafy varietal, and then something that's just not as long bulb growing. Like we'd put more of the hybrid brassica in versus like a purple top, and we put more like forage rape in there and some more tillage radish, kind of as an example. We would play around with that ratio a little bit to help you guys with plot topper stuff. And we would do it on a per order basis. Like I'm not gonna just crank out plot toppers. Goes really good into soybeans right now. I'd be putting that in usually. And last week August is when I put it into my ag soybeans in an outlaw food plot. That works really good. And then if you're a little late to the party, you can still run the straight OG mix. I say right up till about Labor Day weekend or so. So, which is right now.
Yeah, definitely you'd be all right through the first week of September.
Yep.
After that, you're pushing it.
Yep, you're pushing it. That's more getting into the, reach out for the plot topper mix or something like that for, getting a little bit over the top with it.
Tom says I usually need an adjustment at the end of the season after sitting in the stand. Now, Dr. Britt over there at Busy Bee is an avid hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And
during
season, I go in and I tell her, I said my lower back's tight, or my left side of my neck's tight, or whatever. And she said, and she actually brought it up. She goes, well, when you're sitting in a stand and you're generally staring in a specific direction for an extended amount of time, she goes, this, and that can happen. So her being a outdoorsman is, or outdoors woman, however they want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's very familiar with the aches and pains that come from stand sitting.
Yeah, she was saying she got her first, her boyfriend bought her first cell cams, so she's got a couple of them out right now cooking. So, for her birthday, so, yep. So that's cool. Maybe one day we'll jump on the train.
Yeah. Just can't. I don't want another monthly payment.
Dude, I don't even know. So even if they were,
I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, we have enough with the podcast monthly payments and stuff on top of our normal bills. I don't know if I could stomach a cell cam bill. I don't know. I can hardly stomach the battery bill a year for the amount of cameras I run.
Batteries are super expensive now.
Yeah. So, what's your go-to place to get batteries for your cameras?
Harbor Freight.
Okay.
Or the dollar store.
So I go Lowe's.
And I'm running Elkland. I'm running them bleeders.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
I'm not running that lithium or whatever.
Yeah,
that
I don't.
They recommend that doesn't sweat.
Yeah, so I'm
You know what's cheaper than them expensive batteries? A new camera. Just kill that camera and go buy a new camera.
Yeah, so I've had and it's so weird, dude. Like some cameras, and they'll be taking the same amount of pictures, and just some cameras just kill batteries, and other ones, dude, just like sip them so freaking easy all season. Um, so I like the Rhinovacs from Lowe's. You can get them in like the big 60 counts. I've also got a bunch of Energizers, the 1 year off of Amazon that were running on like a flash sale special. They're probably expired or something from some warehouse overseas, but whatever.
Mine
They
say
did all right.
Family Dollar right on them.
Perfect. If you're running like,
They're way lighter than any Duracell or Energizer you picked up.
if you're running,
There's nothing in them.
if you're running photo mode and not like video mode and stuff like that,
That's all I run.
and it's not getting like in the teens and zeros, alkalines are good. Where alkalines really suck is when it gets cold, or if you're using something that requires a lot of power, like videos and extended flash periods and stuff like that. Like if you're running like 10 burst on your camera or something crazy, like yeah, you're gonna obviously cut your pictures down.
I run a simple. I run 1, maybe 2 burst.
Yep, 2 and 3
And
is
that's
what
it.
I
I
run.
don't run no video. Unless
I run a little bit of video in the summer here because I want to see those frames out bucks a little bit. Looking for individuals, more for who's around. But they're gonna be it's right around Labor Day, so I'll be going out for a card pull and taking off video mode and checking batteries, and then probably I'll only do batteries as needed when I'm in an area. Like I might carry 16, 24 batteries, enough for 2 or 3 camera resets if they need it. When I do a card pull, going to and from a stand or something. But other than that, they kind of soak for the most part. We do have security cameras that we pull more on the regular, along the borders and the laneways and stuff like that. Those are getting pulled throughout season, as we're doing kind of our checkups and stuff. And because that's kind of where a lot of our main access is, so that's where we're getting most of those pulls like that. But then again, we're gonna go back to the serial killer board, and be drawing that up here now that it's September. Now that we have
See, you got it taped out.
If we get the individual, yep, we got it taped out.
So you got 5 targets this year.
I would love 5 targets this year. I know one, your guy.
Hank, he didn't grow at all.
No.
I told Ben he should have let me kill him last year.
And then we got old tuning fork showed back up. I think I want to give tuning fork one more year and give him the benefit of the doubt and see if he gets like really squirrely and gnarly.
Tuning fork.
I want to give tuning one more year. And then any of the other ones, dude, haven't showed back up yet. But I just got like the last of my cameras out. What was it? What day did my cousin come into town? It hasn't even been a week. Like the lease has been out for a couple weeks now. I think 2 weeks maybe. I did that right after the draft party, and then grandma's I did last week for that piece. So, yeah. So I'll do a pull in pieces. When I can find time between stuff, and get out there and do a pull and see what we got and see what needs to be done. Sometimes we got a lot of cameras that aren't working. I did a lot of the preliminary work, in the evening time with Nora this year. So my cameras were pretty much working when they went out on the first initial couple pulls I've had. So that's good. And I would have to count them up. I listed all my cameras out again this year. I do that every year. I'm definitely up from where I was last year on cameras. So, we'll take an over and under guess for a free knife if you hit it right on the button.
How many cameras has Ben run?
A lot.
So if any
Don't tell my wife.
So if any of you are following my little posts throughout the year about my leftover seed food plot that I've been messing around with, first attempt failed.
Mm-hmm.
Second attempt.
Oh, it's not.
Second attempt. Haven't been up there to look at it.
Yeah.
So
I haven't been out there to look since I broadcasted my brassicas like a week ago.
Thinking this weekend, being a long weekend, I might get out there and trim a few stands and take a look at it.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I think Labor Day was when we did the lease last year together.
I also need to fix my wood stove, so I'm a little torn.
Yeah. No.
I think I can get them both done. I can do the wood stove in a day, and then trim all my stands over there in a day. Actually, I think we could do the lease and my spot in a day. Then we just
because we hit them every year. They don't take, and we don't have a ton of.
And I think we could do yours a day after work, so it gets dark at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, still gets dark around 8. So if we did it, 1 or 2 days.
And Owen up, and we go out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can at least get half of them done. It might take 2 days after work, but.
Well, the nice thing with a couple of them is
you and your 50 stands.
I'm betting more cameras than stands now, though. I don't know. I'd have to start ringing them all up. The problem with it is, dude, is like you get rolling, and then you're like, man, this spot should have one, this spot should have one. You're like, shit, they're only 150 yards from each other. But sometimes that's all it is. And we see it with deer on the 1 year rule. Like some of them will get on like the merry-go-round, like the way the property's kind of set up, and they'll hit like 2 or 3 or 4 of those cameras, like within that hour. They're on that loop, they're on that merry-go-round cycle. And then other times, and that's where it gets a little tricky and that's why we kind of, the way I break it down is I zone hunt the farm, specifically, or the lease. It's kind of like that. We have an upper and a lower, and then we got kind of 2 lowers, the lower swamp and then kind of the upper swamp. And then we have the whole upland side with the lease. Then my grandma's, it's one side of the hill or the other kind of deal. Really, it's kind of how we split that, is one side or the other, because that big drumlin kind of almost acts as a barrier for some of the deer. Like we only get them on the west side of it, some deer, and then other ones we get on the east side. So with the zone hunting stuff, with the timing, like that's how I break it down. Sometimes it gets, like we showed last year, and I'm sure we'll get more of it again this year, like we always do. You'll get them on the same day within an hour or 2. Crafty did that last year.
Mm-hmm.
Came out the same trail. What was it? Within 4 hours, 1 year to the day. In the middle of summer. So when these deer are, older and mature, like they'll fall into these patterns. So, alrighty. Last topics and questions for the night. Let's hear them, guys. What's something that's eating you going into season? And then food plots, like we were saying, 10 days from now, I'd be switching over to grains. We still got some cereal grains and clover stuff that we're switching over. It's just the time to switch it over to clover. I prefer fall planting my clover over spring planting. This summer is a great example for why. You don't get as good of results, I feel, without a wet spring. The last 3 years before this one, we had pretty good wet springs and summers, so they did really well establishing, because clover needs that rain, to really get going and establishing. And that's why the fall planting, because it plays off the natural life cycle of clover. Right now you're seeing all the seed heads drop in seed, where they've dropped throughout the summer, and that stuff would be germinating here in the fall going into that winter time, where that seed really, really kind of comes into its own. So, and then the nurse crop to protect it from getting overbrowsed in those food plots. So like the next 10 days or so, we're watching the weather and prepping those fields, whether it's spraying accordingly if it needs to, or some of them we're going to do a little bit of tillage because of the weed competition and issues we have in them. Or maybe doing a low mow and then throw setup without a chemical application. They're all kind of different. But if you do have any questions on plots, feel free to reach out. But like in the next 10 days, we're switching over to grains pretty much after Labor Day. And you can plant those grains right up till like October. I planted them when I came back from my honeymoon the 1 year. I was planting clover and cereal grains in October. So, yeah, this tastes like iron smoke. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. I don't mind iron smoke. I like their casket strength better, personally, but the GG's Giggle Juice or whatever is pretty good.
So before we wrap it up, get your merch.
Yep.
Get your merch.
We'll have the hats and knives as well for the barbecue.
Hats.
And tickets are available.
Knives.
Could be this week. Nate's going to give you an up close and personal look on them.
Beautifully engraved.
Yep. Good old 100 proof whitetails on it. And that, dude, that is like the perfect field dressing and like bird knife, like almost like a nice like apple cutting knife. It's a perfect size.
Did you see it good?
Yeah, especially when you went like back and forth, you could see the engraving on it. Yeah,
I mean,
so those
for $10.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna get a better knife. You ain't gonna get a better knife.
Not a custom engraved one. Well, I mean, it's custom. It's the 100 proof. But, yeah.
Nice
And the old
hat,
beaners.
the old beaner. Slap that guy on there. No problem. No twist.
You know, some guys like running them over the hat too.
You run them over the hat?
Depends.
You run them over the hat?
I think Keith was running them like that last year. That looks like a Burley hat. Yeah, that looks like Burley. Burley would run it like that.
Burley, he looks like a flat brim guy.
Yeah, he doesn't bend his brim. I'm more of a. I like that really tight bend on most of mine. But yeah.
Beautiful. Pull it down a little bit.
So yeah.
Keep it nice and toasty.
Post ears.
$10.
Mm-hmm.
Hat, $10 knife.
$20 get you the pair.
$20 bill, get you a hat and a knife. I mean, that's a steal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
With your favorite podcast logo on it.
Yep. All local. All brought to you by the viewers like you guys. So thank you. And again, September 20th, 100 proof party. Get a hold of us for tickets. We aren't doing dinners day of. You have to be, ticket purchased ahead of time. Unless we might have a couple extra chickens kicking around, but don't bank on it. Because we got to get our order in ahead of time. So, yep, $5 at the door for a general entry. And we'll have raffles, novelty archery shoots, probably a couple extra targets set up. A couple raffles and games, and it all goes to local youth and outdoor activities, FFA, 4-H, probably the shooting sports team will get some of it too. We're going to kind of spread it around and keep supporting the youth and that next generation of outdoors men and women, farmers and hunters, man. So
all them future crossbow hunters.
The future crossbow hunters, dude. So thank you all for tuning in. If you liked it, let us know. If you didn't like it, let us know too, because we like clowning on you in upcoming episodes about you getting all butthurt about what we're saying. So check us out on any major podcast platform, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, anywhere you're listening to podcasts, you can find us. So, I think that sums it up pretty good. Interested in tickets, let us know. Interested in seed, let us know. Merch, let us know. And, catch you next time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you.